And I continue on with the evil. I love how I have all these Night Force accessories just waiting for me to confirm that I need them or not. And I just found out where the Night Boomer is. And I can't even get to it. I can see it, and it's like 15 feet away in a pile of crap. All in good time. But we're still crushing it. And let's just crush this video. And here we have the Lost in Space robot. It is a guilty pleasure of mine. It is something I should not be openly admitting that I liked the Lost in Space live action movie. And the sequel was fleshed out, but obviously never completed because it did not do well in the theaters. Trendmasters did a great job. Lots of action figures, variety of the robots in different sizes. I think this is the biggest of the new robot. I was not really much of a fan of the vintage robot. And I like this stuff, but then again, it's like, do you really need this to appreciate the movie? Do you really need this? Do I go to bed at night and lay down my head and thank the Lord that I have the motorized robot from the Lost in Space boxed? Not really. So I'm going to let it go, but I would love to keep all this stuff. Look at that price tag, $34.99. Damn. This is probably the biggest and the baddest version that they made of it. Look all the vehicles down there. But yeah, it's okay to let this stuff go. And that's kind of where we're at right now. It would be kind of cool to get a hand-painted hard copy of it. But yeah, probably with the limited interest of the movie, 30 bucks. I've already kept too much from our previous videos, so let's get rid of this puppy, even though I appreciate him a lot. It's time to go. And here we have Battle for Eternia, Battle Cat, Fighting Tiger. I like how just basic it is, like Fighting Tiger. Like you didn't know what you were buying until you read that. Oh my God, Battle Cat's a Fighting Tiger. So I bought this years ago. Same thing, plans to open it up and put things on display. Still sealed. Look at that. And there was a moment in that time frame of collecting the classics where you were super stoked about the revisions of these figures. And now we're on to like, what, the 7th incarnation of the vintage line? It's at the point where even though they're fantastic, and the Mondo figure is just absolutely gorgeous, but I can't just keep buying He-Man. I can't just keep keeping all the varieties of He-Mans that are superposable and displayable. I'm good with just what I have. So I'm happy with the vintage collection. I'm happy with the sprinkling of other cool aspects here and there of other various newer versions from Mattel and Super 7 and whatnot. But the fun part is this stuff went up and it probably went straight down right after with all these new toys coming out. So I'm going to let this one go. I'm probably going to assume 50 bucks. Could be wrong. Could be a little higher. Could be a little lower. A little lower. Oh, look at that. A whole shelf. Holy crap. I love it. I love it. We need to get rid of more stuff. I'm probably just going to get rid of those Power Force 2 vehicles. After I finish these videos up and I'm editing them, I'm looking at the stuff and I'm just like, man, just get rid of more stuff. Like, it's just, like, we need that space. I'd rather just have like a clean house and a wonderful display. And I look at people who have less stuff than me and they have gorgeous displays. And I'd rather have that than just hordes and hordes of stacks of garbage. So let's keep focused. We have an original Evangelion Asuka. So this is a vinyl figure, and it's one of the most earliest toys. Look at that Hobby Scuda. My God, that is as early as it can get. I like the early Evangelion stuff. It's not the most detailed or well sculpted, but they're fun to have because they came out right when the series came out, and they're just flooding the market, and people are still buying this stuff decades later. They love it. It's like almost ingrained in the Japanese culture now. I just sold the trading cards that came with little wafers that you can buy at 7-Eleven. The guy picked them up locally. I sold my Asuka Eva suit that was original already just a few days ago. And you know what? I might as well keep this. And the other thing is, it's not going to be big bucks. But I'm letting go of so much Eva stuff already. I think I got rid of half the collection. It's nice to see a vintage piece like this. And if you haven't watched the series, it's available on Netflix. There are, of course, 2.0, 3.0, and all the movies. And I mean, the series itself is so deep, but let alone trying to figure out what the hell is going on with all the sequels, I'm a loss too. Wonderful piece. You're right. I should have bought the Oscar life-size statue from Japan and brought that home instead. That makes everyone happy. We have, oh my God, look how dirty this thing is. This is a Cooler. No, not that Cooler from Dragon Ball Z. So this came from the fan club from Ninja Turtles, which was nearby in Chicago. And I was there. Thousands of years ago. When they actually closed down the whole facility. I had no idea. I went to a flea market in Chicago, and there they all were. They're just blowing out all the cups, the T-shirts, the towels, you name it from the fan club, the posters. Everything was just being dumped for nothing. I think these were like 10 cents each. And here's one of them still remaining after all these years. I'll write a story about that at some point. It was just fantastic and amazing to see what I picked up and how cheap, and just... Again, another time, you have to get rid of this stuff. Oh my God, this one's going to be a hard one for me to deal with, but I'll let it go. This is the Big Bug from Starship Troopers. Look at that. Oh man, Galoob just did an absolutely kick-ass job with these figures. Huge. I mean, look at this, is an adult hand right here. It's an adult hand. That's not a phrase I should be saying out in general, just out of context. This is an adult hand. $5 without discount. Now, I bought this one in the store myself. I love the series. Well, I love the movie so much. I was like, I need to buy more product for it. Sure, I was still a teenager, but oh man, look at that big ass bug. The figures suck, the human figures. That's just, you know, we already knew that, but the ships, the bugs, there's a lot of love for this line. I suspect this figure has boogied on up to at least the $150 mark. I don't think it's going to get any more valuable, but I would prefer to have a loose one, but I think all I have is this box one, so I'm kind of getting torn up on should I let it go or should I keep it? And again, I just mentally, for me, just going to a toy show and seeing a guy with the loose one, and be like, how much is it? And he's like, $100. I just can't spend the $100. I already have one, so I'm kind of like torn between like sell it, take the money and run, or finally keep one. But my God, yeah, I watched all the sequels too. I think there's a fourth one now. They weren't terrible, to be honest with you. 2 was just, they did the best they could with that budget. I'll just put it that way. But it still wasn't terrible. It was very unique and strange and haunting in various ways of how the bug takes over your body. That part was creepy when the guy pulls them out of the locker. Oh yeah, yeah. Now I'm going through some trauma right now. So anyways, we'll put this one off to the side and let go of the Lost in Space robot. But we'll think about that one tonight. We have absolutely destroyed. I knew about this a long time ago. The mice enjoyed this one. We gotta get some better lighting. And they poo-pooed all over the big rabbit from Monty Python. There! Behind the rabbit? No, it is the rabbit. But yeah, I don't think it'll come off, and he's probably going to be heading towards the trash. We have Voltron. Now, these were absolutely fascinating. This is a company called Impulse that got the Voltron license. And pretty much they were told, like, you can't make Voltron action figures. You can't make a transforming Voltron. So we're like, okay. We know Voltron is hot as hell, and we're going to make transforming wristwatch, transforming calculator, transforming starlight mini flashlight. Not so much transforming on that. That thing looks freaking hideous as hell. This is an actual working camera. There you go. Collect all 6 Voltron. Star shooter. Look out, binoculars. And the sunlight. Oh, actually, this one does transform and breaks apart. So I wonder how the licensing worked on that. But yeah, this company stepped up and made some amazing products. They're difficult to find, and the camera is probably the most unique out of all of them next to the calculator. And personally, my brother got as a child at Toys R Us the wristwatch. I love transforming wristwatch robots. As a kid, it was a passion. The Microman series, the Scorpion watch. Oh my God. I love all that stuff. But anyways, that being said, it's an absolute keeper. I love my Voltron. Probably worth about $100 a quarter, $125. They probably got blown out. You can see the price up there. I mean, you think about this. Kids are not like, yo, you got a choice between the transforming die-cast Voltron or at least the pullback motor systems, or you can buy this overly expensive real working camera. I think I know what I would have chosen as a kid. So that's pretty cool. Okay, this is weird. This is weird. Oh my God, this explains a couple things. So this is the SPD Power Rangers that I was buying as the series came out. I love the SPD Power Rangers. This is my favorite Power Ranger series. I went out, I bought everything dead stock and kept it as mint as I possibly can. And in previous videos, I found the Red Rick. Now the Red Rick was a very, very rare piece. It was one per case, only towards the tail end of the series, and only available at KB. Now, I did find one upstairs, and it was water damaged. And it's so rare, I couldn't get a comparable price. So I'm really hoping that one of these two down here is the Red Rick. So overall, Power Rangers, like many Ranger toys, are only will have straight value if it's the Megazords. Most of the action figures or smaller vehicles or bikes or whatnot don't have much value. That being said, SPD, dead stock stuff like this has a bit of value, but most people are not caring. I'm just hoping that it's because it's dead stock and it's sealed, and this now is confirmed extra compared to the one upstairs, that it will be successful in a decent sale for me. But it's nice to see some clean mint. The boxes for the SPD are a little bit more thinner and fragile than the previous series, so it should be very hard to find one this clean. Even dead stock like this is already scuffing along the sides. Isn't that crazy? But I did love the fact that it was a police force versus just teenagers that are given powers. And I think this was the first series that was filmed in Australia/New Zealand. And then they moved on to Mystic Force. Love the series. I'm going to keep everything I can for that. And that was kind of like Mystic Force. After that was the breaking point where I was like, I'm done with this. I can't keep hoarding this stuff. But now we're down here. And now we're crossing our fingers for Red Ricks. We got Robotic Interactive K9, Robotic Interactive K9. So if I'm correct, they're actually both are going to be Red Ricks, because they should normally just say Rick. But we're going to find out. Oh, I can see it. Top of the box. So there we are. One Red Rick. And I can see the top of the box. That's a Red Rick. So here we are in its full glory of the Red Rick. It's just a red version of the original white version. And as I said, KB only, $19.99, one per case. They are very hard to find. I'm very happy now, to be honest with you, because the one upstairs, I was like, I have to open it. The box is done. You can't save the box technically. So now I can actually have a loose, nice mint one, and I have a dead stock one and an extra for sale. And the market doesn't appreciate how rare these are. I don't think many people are aware how rare these are, even to this day after all these years later. But that's just how things are. Like, you can't force the market. So I'm going to be debating if I should keep one sealed for a while longer, as it's, that's the problem. Like, is it ever going to go anywhere? So I got to chew on that tonight. But we're definitely keep one, open one upstairs, and we're definitely have to let one go. And to be honest with you, just slap it up, put over price on it, and see what happens, man. But yeah, Rick was a fantastic addition to this series. And there are other Robotic Interactive K9s as well, like the Bulldog version. Just the world of SPD just seemed more expansive with the other police departments in the galaxy and all the other commanders and other crew, the Alpha team, and just there's just so much lore behind it than I felt in the previous as well as the shows after. They could have expanded on the SPD series, at least in the comics, much, much more. And that would have been actually really fascinating. But alas, Power Rangers is the one-shot deal, and they just move on, unless it's Mighty Morphin.